Hello, everyone. Dr. Stephen McKinnon is joining us for the second day, and he's going to share an interesting fact about himself.
Hi guys, I hope everyone is well. Thank you for having me back.
Hi.
Um,
Hey.
it's good to see all of you. Hope you're having fun and learning throughout this business week. We're going to talk about teamwork today, and let me share an interesting fact, and then we can get right into my teamwork presentation today. Um, I am 52. I am a father of two. My son is 22. My daughter is 21. I am a avid Los Angeles Lakers fan, Duke basketball fan, San Francisco 49ers fan. So I'm an avid sports guy. And in my spare time, I'm kind of nerdy. I sit around and read leadership books, self-help books. I think I'm on book 125 maybe. So I am kind of a nerd. I'm an only child, so I live by myself, for myself, with myself, and so that's my interesting fact. So I am a nerd. Sorry. So I have a question for all of you. I can see everybody on my screen today. How many of you have ever been on a team? Show of hands, give me a team of some kind. I want the majority. So, okay, so for the most part, we've all been on a team of some kind. All right, so hopefully, Danny, I'm gonna share my screen, and Danny's already have me hooked up. Hold on. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate you. You're the best. All right, so you guys see my screen today? Good. Yes, no, maybe. Taking of
Yes.
hands, think, got it.
Yeah.
You good here? All right, so I have a question for you guys. And Kai, you're not allowed to answer. Is your hand up or you asking me a question or you just forgot to put it down, Kai? Got it. All right, Kai, you're not allowed to answer this question. All right, so here's my first question. And hold on, let me rewind the tape. The same thing you guys gave me yesterday. I want that same energy today. You guys were absolutely fantastic yesterday. I was so excited. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't even finish my workout today. I couldn't wait to get back to you guys. So that same energy you gave me yesterday, give it back to me today. All right. So we've all been on a team before. And Kai, I was just playing. You can answer this if you like. Tell me what all successful teams have in common. Think about it. I want you to sit in this for a minute. Remember, we're putting our leadership hats on. In your perspective, excuse me, tell me what all successful teams have in common. Characteristic, personality, whatever, however you, wherever you want to take this, I want you to tell me. I see two hands, I see three. Tell me what all successful teams have in common. This will roll us into what we're trying to get into today. Remember the theme yesterday, effective and efficient? Same thing today. Saba, I saw your hand up first. Tell me what all successful teams have in common. And I take notes, so forgive me if I'm looking away. I'm just taking notes. Start us off,
Okay,
Saba.
that's fine. First things first, it's dedication. And second, I think it's mission that should be accomplished.
Saba, what does dedication look like to you?
Dedication looks like to me that I want to study in America and I'm spending my most precious time listening to best people I can ever listen. I've ever listened in my life. This is dedication for me.
Okay. Duncan, shoot.
I think teamwork is well, on a team, every good team needs a lot of diverse voices, people from different ages and different backgrounds, and make sure that, you're learning from those different experiences.
Saba, I'm sorry, Duncan, let's pause the tape there for a second. When you say diverse, what does that look like to you?
Um, well, people that come from, different ages, maybe different places of the world, even different neighborhoods,
Let's not gloss over that. Why is that important to you?
Oh, it's important because I could, I get to learn, different things, how different people interact, what they're better at than me.
Yeah, nice. That's what I was getting at. Adrian, talk to me.
Yeah, I agree with what Sava said, where I think the first thing is definitely like dedication and work ethic. And I think that comes before a kind of like cohesive teamwork, solely because you can like in situations, if a good team should be able to put aside maybe some of their differences to work towards a greater goal, but that doesn't mean that chemistry and teamwork should be like set aside. I think that's also something that's really important to focus on because at the end of the day, like when you're not actively working on all being like going towards that goal, you still need to work together to get stuff done. And if you can't do that, you're not going to go very far.
Okay, I'll take that. Rashi, talk to me.
I think a good team needs cooperation and leadership.
Ooh, I don't want to hit on leadership because we got there tomorrow. What does cooperation look like to you, Russia?
Respecting others' opinions and like actually listening to it with an open mind.
Copy. Nice, nice. Devin, talk to me and welcome. I didn't see you yesterday, Devin, so welcome to the stage.
Hi. Connected to kind of what Sloan said, having kind of a balanced set of skill sets like within the team.
Balanced skill set. I'll take that. Nini, talk to me.
I think all the successful teams have open communication, and the successful teams communicate openly and honestly. They share information freely, listen actively, and I think that is key of success.
Copy. I'll take that. Nice work, guys. So this is what I want. This is the mission today. I want to make the business case so why we should have effective and efficient teams. I want to talk about character, what that looks like. I want to talk about dysfunction, and I want to talk about building blocks. I want to talk about those deposits that we need to make. Remember, put on your leadership hat. All of you are leaders, and we're building this team together. And what does that look like? All right. So dysfunction, dysfunctional. What does a dysfunctional team look like to you? Dysfunction. Describe some of the characteristics, some of the sights and sounds of a dysfunctional team. I'm gonna mess this name up. Company E, Kunal. I hope I got that right, Kunal. If I didn't, I
you did.
apologize.
No, you're good.
What does dysfunction look like to you?
I think it mostly is just a lack of participation. I feel
Ooh,
like with a team, you all want to put the same amount of dedication as like Sabo was talking about. And if some people are just on the side, just slacking off, it's not a team. You're dysfunctional. You can't all work toward one goal if some people are not putting as much effort as others.
so would you say it's not fair that some people don't carry their own weight on the team aspect, and that could be labeled as dysfunction?
Exactly. It's the main thing. Like, for example, on a basketball team, some people just partying the night before, they don't have that same focus and they're not going to be the same. They're not going to pursue the same goal as the other teammates. And it's just dysfunctional.
And Steven would be yelling at that teammate all game long. Trust me. Brian, welcome. Talk to me.
I'd say this functional team is a lack of communication. Like ineffective in communication can lead to misunderstanding, misinformation, and can cause a team to like break apart.
Oh, nice answer. I'm throwing you candy there. Make sure you catch that. Adrian, talk to me. What does dysfunction look like?
Yeah, I think dysfunction is kind of what Kunal said. If people aren't stepping up to the plate and putting in the work that they already committed to doing, right? Because this is a team. No, there's no like illusions as to what's going on. You're there. You already know that you're working towards a greater goal, and not showing up and not putting up that same effort that you committed is dysfunctional.
I'll take that. I'll take that. Duncan, what does dysfunction look like?
Yeah, I agree. It's hard when, people say like, especially when people sign up to be a specific part of something and then they don't follow through. So just make sure, and then usually it falls on the team leader. So that is very dysfunctional if it always is falling on one person.
What does that lack of follow through look like to you, Duncan? I
Well, like,
signed up to be I don't know. I signed up to do something, and in my realm of responsibility, I'm not carrying my weight. What does that look like to you?
well, to me, it looks like, maybe not showing up to team meetings, not showing up to events when you said you would, not working on the assignment you said you would do.
Copy, copy. And nothing makes me more upset. When I was in college, we used to have team projects, and I would always hate them because I always had somebody on my team that didn't carry their weight or waited to the last minute to do the assignment, and it drives me crazy. I'm kind of a control freak. Not kind of, I am. So that drives me crazy. So Nini, talk to me.
But I think it's like unclear goals and roles. Team members are unsure of their goals, roles, and responsibility, and this is loading to disorganized organization.
Roles and responsibilities not clear. I'll take that as dysfunction. Copy. Katie, you have the last word. Good to see you.
Yeah, hello. I just want to, like Nina said, all the things I wanted to say, I just agree with her. And I believe that at the team, at the beginning of this webinar, we all had our roles. So I believe that if you don't focus on your role and you don't do the work that you should do, then the team gonna be dysfunctional.
Copy. Nice. So let me chime in. This is what I deem dysfunction is, and it shows up in these spaces. All right. So not result oriented, not focus on outcomes, personal agenda. Does everybody know what I mean when I say personal agenda? Somebody describe and explain what personal agenda means to them. Personal agenda means I'm only looking out for Steve. I don't really care about the team. I have some goals that don't align with the overarching team goals, so I'm only looking out for self. That's a personal agenda. Somebody, I know what I wrote here. Somebody tell me what accountability means to them. And I know that the one of our instructors here, her name is Kate, I think. I stole something from her, so I'm giving her credit off the top if she's still here. I can't see her right now, but I'm gonna steal. She told me something last time, and I'm gonna copy it. So somebody tell me what accountability means to them. All right, silence can be awkward, so we're gonna sit here in silence for until someone tells me. Ben, what does accountability mean to you?
I think it means what was I gonna say? Not blaming others. Sometimes if there's something going wrong, it's yourself, and you just gotta carry your weight as well.
I'll take that. Devin, talk to me. What does accountability mean to you?
Like you have your own set of responsibilities, and like let's say you do fall short or mess up on your responsibilities, you kind of take account. You take responsibility for your mistake and not, like Ben said, blaming other people.
I'll take that. Anybody else? So she said taking ownership of how you show up. I thought that was great, and it never leaves my mind when I hear something great like that. Taking ownership of how you show up. That's what accountability means. It's another withdrawal is commitment. Lack of involvement translates into lack of commitment. So imagine you got this quiet introvert on your team, and we never ask that introvert, what do you think? What's your opinion about this? Guess what happens? Now my mind starts to fade and I start to do something else because I don't feel involved. Conflict. We're going to talk about conflict a little later, but this is another withdrawal as opposed to deposit. No confronting tough issues, no tough conversations. In a position of leadership, you cannot be afraid to have those tough conversations because you're going to have someone on your team that's all those dysfunctional attitudes, dysfunctional withdrawals we just talked about, and you're going to need to address those. And then trust, lack of transparency, openness, and honesty. We're going to come back and talk about that as it relates to communication as well. So we talked about what a bad team looks like. Give me one characteristic of what a good team looks like, and don't give me opposite of what we just said. Let's talk to me.
I think listening to all of the members is very important, maybe the most important.
Why is listening to you, Nessa, the most important characteristic we should have?
Because when you listen to somebody else, you learn something from them. And when they listen to you, they learn something from you. And then learning from each other can make a better outcome.
Nessa, I'm tossing you candy. Make sure you catch that. Daria, talk to me. What kind of characteristic should we have if we want to be effective and efficient?
Everyone have to be responsible.
What does being responsible look like to you?
It's like everyone have to do like his mission, like his plan, and things like this.
I'll take that. Duncan, talk to me.
I think just being nice to everyone. Like I know on a team we can't all be friends with everyone, but as long as you show up and try to be nice, I think that is one of like what you can do.
We're gonna come back and address that later on downstream, Duncan. I want you to hold that thought. I'm coming back to that. Nini,
I think the clear roles and responsibilities is one of the most important thing, and effective communications. It means that members communicate openly, listen actively, and they share information, and they are not like so they are not fearing to say something.
Nini, I have a question for you. Who sets those roles and responsibilities, and when should they be set? Who and when?
Can you repeat the question? I didn't
Who
understand.
sets those roles and responsibility for the team, and when should they be set? Who sets them? When should they set them?
I think that the leader of the team uh, should take roles, and people also have to be part of it.
I'll take that. Nada, talk to me.
I think that teamwork looks like always supporting each other, listening to each other's thoughts and everything they say, and realizing the fact that if you don't listen to your teammates, teamwork doesn't work, and you have to always like keep an eye on your teammates' thoughts.
Now I have a follow-up question for you. What does support look like to you? What does that look like? So, for example, no, you tell me what it looks like to you, and then I'll give my example.
What looks like? I couldn't hear the question. I'm sorry.
What does support looks like to you?
Yeah, okay. Support looks like when you're on a team with someone and they like express their own feelings or thoughts about something, you need to support that and not like make fun of them because of that thought because you think that is not like right for you. And it's supporting them with their thoughts and how they think.
So, do you think that's always agreeing with the person,
No,
regardless of? Okay, got it.
no,
Good.
you cannot agree with person, but you have to like, I don't know how to say it.
Well, you answered my question. I just wanted to make sure support doesn't always have to be in agreeing with someone. I
Yeah,
can
you
support you
just
and
have
still
to,
disagree.
yeah.
Okay, Katie, you got the last word.
So I just wanted to tell, as we said before, you got to make sure that when you're in the team, you have the same goal, you have the same mission, and you have the same thoughts with your teams. Because if you have someone that is not focused on the same goal that your team is, then you're just not gonna make it. I think so.
Nice, nice, Kate. So I always like to use the word being in sync, and which means we're rowing in the same direction, we're swimming in the same direction, we're pulling in the same direction in order for us to accomplish our goals. So this is what a deposit looks like to me. Cohesiveness. That's being in. That's another word for being in sync. It just simply means being together. All right. We talked about accountability. I am taking responsibility for what I signed up to do. Like Kate told me earlier, I'm taking responsibility for how I show up for you guys. So I want you to think about when you sign up to do something that goes back to integrity we talked to about yesterday. Mean what I say and say what I mean. All right. Collaboration. That's the interdependentness. I need you to be good so I can be good. So together we can be good in the team success. No one is coming to see a losing team. Only your parents are coming to see you, only your friends. All right. No, everybody wants to see a win, right? And I'm not saying winning is above everything, but in the context of what we're talking about, I want you to succeed so I can succeed. So together we can succeed and now the team is successful. All right. And I think Katie just said this: one team, one mission, one voice, one goal, and that's how we operate. And then trust. trust. I'll come back to it. No worries. I'll come back to it. All right. So here are some team questions for you to take back with you when you're in your groups. How do we create buy-in? Talked about what is accountability and how do we get it? How do we create involvement through translate to commitment? What is conflict? Don't worry about that. We're gonna peel the layers back on that in 1 second. How do we use it to our benefit? And how do we create an environment of trust? Here's the foundation. Trust. That's the third time I've used that word. So I want to go results, accountability, commitment, conflict, trust. All right. So results, team-based, personal alignment with team alignment. I'm looking for win-win. Accountability, the standard is the standard. The expectation is the expectation for everyone. Never, ever lower the standard or the expectation because I'm trying to support and I like somebody. Forget that, all right? Commitment, everyone is on board and aligned with the mission. Conflict, I'm gonna skip conflict because I really want to peel the layers back to this in 1 second, all right? Then we talked about open, honest, transparent, and that's a deposit for trust. That's a deposit for trust. All right, so everybody on the team has an obligation and a responsibility. Two things. You have a responsibility to express yourself and you have the responsibility to listen. I get to speak what I'm feeling, but I also need to listen what someone else is feeling. Learn how to ask instead of learning how to tell. All right. What does a sense of belonging look like to you? Anybody know what a sense of belonging looks like, feels like, tastes like, smells like? A sense of belonging. How many of you belong to something? Duncan, I can't see your hand, but I saw something. Duncan, what is a sense of belonging to you?
I think a sense of belonging is just feeling like you're welcome, that you don't really have any like enemies on the team and people are listening to you and inviting you into their conversation.
I like the listening part and then inviting to the conversation. I like that. Company D, I'm gonna mess up this name, so forgive me. Let's try Sukak.
George, just George.
George. Okay, George.
I
Talk
think
to
it's
me.
the feeling when you feel that you are the part of company, and it does really matter because without it you can be successful and in your company and you can't do anything with it without it.
I need to feel like I'm a part of the team. Is that, George, is that what you said first?
Yes.
Copy. All right, talk to me.
I think it's a sense of like being accepted and being recognized, I guess, having your like place or like having
Hey,
that
talk,
feeling of having a place in the system.
what does that recognition look like to you? What does being recognized look like to you, Kai? I like the word, by the way.
Being acknowledged or like supported, like you're being told that this is something good and it kind of makes you feel like you're I guess you're like belonging in the system.
Okay, I'll take that. Sabo, talk to me.
Beside the idea that every person has different initiatives and everyone's competence is different, you should know that you belong to the place you are in your comfort, and uh, besides all the different ideas any part of the group has, you are in same group, so you belong to the same friends, you belong to the same counterparts, so you are in one place and that's your comfort zone.
I'll take that. Capino, Company B, talk to me and welcome.
I feel like a sense of belonging, like what Kai said. It's like being accepted, but also I feel like it's also having purpose and
like that.
Being like included in things.
Inclusion, I like that as well. Adrian, you got the last word.
Yeah, I think it's really a sense of that you're being heard. It's a pretty basic need. Everybody wants to feel heard, and like when you're not afraid to speak up, when you're not afraid to share an idea because you know that you will be heard and that your idea will be acknowledged.
Copy that. Miriam, you have the last word. Go, Company E.
Yeah, Sense of belonging, it's very close to Maslow's pyramid. It is one step of its sense of belonging, and I think it's too important. And for me, sense of belonging means to be part of the team.
I like that. Nice, nice. Let me chime in. So it's a building block for us, a sense of belonging. Listen to this, listen to this, listen to this. Everyone is a valued member of the team. Everyone is a valued member of the team. Therefore, so too are their thoughts, ideas, and contributions. So when you say, hey, I want to be heard, I want to be seen, I want to be recognized, this is a part of that making all your teammates. Because if I feel I belong to the group and my thoughts, ideas, I'm being heard, now my value increases. Now my involvement increases. Now my commitment to the team increases. And if everybody feels that way, now we have a better team. Make sense? Bet. Motivation. Park the car here. Pause the tape. Motivation. Describe and explain. What is motivation? Somebody tell me, what is motivation? I should see 1,000 hands up. What is motivation? What is motivation? Come on. What is motivation? Adrian, Duncan, Yasiva, and Kai, you have it. Go. Motivation. What is it?
I think motivation is really just that sense of drive towards a goal.
Drive.
Knowing
I'll
that,
take that.
knowing that like nothing's gonna get handed to you. You need to be the one to start it. You need to be the one going after it. You need putting in 100% of your effort, and it's really just like I said, it's working towards that goal.
Copy. Duncan, shoot.
I think motivation is, hyping up your team members. If you see that maybe they're having a hard time, be like, you got this. Maybe try to help them. Like, make sure they feel okay, and just try to
Hey Duncan,
motivate them.
if we were face to face, I would throw you 2 pieces of candy because no one has ever described motivation as that. Hyping up my teammates, man, that is super duper good. Yo, you got 2 pieces of candy if I ever see you. Yasiva, I hope I pronounced it right. Company D, talk to me. What is that?
For me, motivation's like the reason why I would do something. So like, I mean, I could just be on my bed like all day, but motivation just kind of drives me to actually do stuff and
Copy
like
that.
do actions and like goals and stuff.
Sweet. I'll take that too. Kai, talk to me.
Like Adrian said, definitely motivation to me is like a drive or a push forward to succeed. And I think it looks in the form of like a personal feeling or a personal goal that you kind of want to achieve. And motivation is something that brews from that. But I think it's really hard to have motivation kind of just like on your own. I think it's really important for others to help motivate you, and which is why it's a big thing in teamwork. Like you help motivate your teammates to succeed, or you motivate your teammates to do the work that they do.
Oh, nice, nice from others, from others. Not so talk to me. What does motivation look like to you?
So I think that if we have like a plan for something and if we have a goal, it has no reason to exist if we have no motivation, because without motivation, we're not acting towards our goal. So, yeah.
Nice, nice. Sabi, you got the last word.
Every type of person has their pros and cons, but sometimes people can't cope with the stress alone. So you should be person to motivate them and say that they are maybe not good enough, but they will improve their study and that you will teach them. So with the positive mindset, you should motivate them. That's how the great team is come.
Okay, I'll take that. So I wanna pause the tape here for a second. So I want each of you to think, are you internally motivated or externally motivated? First, you got to know what those 2 words means, one from within, one from outside. Somebody share with me if you're internally motivated versus externally motivated. Anybody? Anybody? I'll start it off. I see 2 hands. I am super duper because I'm an only child, and my mom and my dad were divorced, and I had to find my way without that commonality. So I am super duper internally driven. I don't really need a lot of external motivation because I'm hyper. So again, tomorrow morning I'm gonna get up at 6 o'clock and go work out because I want to compete on the soccer field with Kai, and I'm 3 times his age, right? So I'm internally motivated to try to beat Kai, not because Kai said something to me. I just want to be the best soccer player I can be. Make sense? Adrian, you start us off, Nutsa, then Saba, then Kai.
Yeah, so I really enjoy lifting weights and working out. And I used to be really overweight and unhealthy. And I kind of realized that I kept saying to myself, oh, eventually I'm gonna go to the gym, eventually I'm gonna start doing this stuff. And I figured out one day, it kind of clicked, that stuff wasn't gonna happen unless I like just full on committed to it. And I realized that can't come from anybody else but me. And so I've lost a lot of weight since then and put on a lot of muscle. So I would say I'm very internally motivated.
Way to go, Adrian. Keep up the good work, sir. Nutsa, talk to me. Internal, external.
I think I'm more internal because most of the times I don't need somebody else to hype me up because I know that I have myself and I know that I can hype myself up all the time. But I also know that I have people in my life that if I'm in a low point in my life, I know that, my family, I have my family and I have my best friends that can also motivate me. So I think both of the skills are important in life. But everyone has like either other person or either themselves that hype them more.
I like that, Nutsa. Saba, talk to me.
I'll take the Andrian's example. I really love to host some beautiful nights on concerts or TV shows, and sometimes a few years ago, I was external motivated because I had friends and parents who could motivate me. But right now I know that I'm the only one who can tell myself that I should get up and continue. Sometimes I be nervous on the scene when I see like thousands of people watching me and waiting for me, and I know that I'm one who should motivate myself. So I'm an internal.
Nice, Saba. Kai, talk to me.
I'm definitely going back to like a soccer example. On the field, I personally hold myself to a high standard to push myself, and I think it's a motivation for me. It's internal to have myself be the best player that I can be and be like, a successful and like consistent team player for my team and like a cornerstone. And like that motivation to be like the best I can is definitely internal coming forward.
Love it. I love it. Katie, you have the last word.
So I also believe that I'm internal, and I just wanted to mention that, as we said yesterday, some motivation for me is some kind of feeling, some kind of emotion. And as we said, like sometimes facts don't support emotions, and that's the moment when motivation disappears and discipline comes out, and we also have to remember about the discipline. So when we are internal, I think that all the people who are internally motivated, they are disciplined.
Thank you, Katie, for listening to me yesterday and taking some of my gems with you. Ben, I hear you, but I gotta move. Okay, I want to finish all this, but I do recognize, I do see you. I'll get you next time. So there's not a right or wrong here. It's okay to be internally motivated, but it's okay to all have people. Like Nessa said, I think that I got family that motivate me. I got a brother that motivate me. I got a best friend because they're doing good. I want to do good. So there's no right or wrong here. It can be and both. So keep up the good work for motivation. Let's bring this back to the team aspect. I want you to have people on your team that wants to be there. I want them to be the best version of themselves so they can produce their best work. Here's the question for you. How do we motivate team members to want to be here? Give me something there. I don't want a lot. I don't want to spend a lot of time here, but just let's say we're all in a leadership position and we see one of our teammates who are not as enthusiastic as we would like them to be. That's the best, nicest way I can put it. So how do we, as a team leader, in position of leadership, how do we motivate that person to be just as enthusiastic as we are? I saw Katie hand first, Adrian, Nutsa. Ben, you got the last word if your hand is still up. Sorry, hold on. Ben, your hand is up. You go first, then Katie, then Adrian, then Nutsa. Go, Ben. How do you motivate?
I think giving everyone something they can do so that they feel like going would make an actual difference and not, they'd just be there.
All right, pause the tape, Ben. I gotta give you pushback. Ben.
Yeah.
Giving everyone something to do. Peel the layers back there, because I wanna add to that. You peel the layers back. What do you mean?
So giving everyone like a sort of job, like let me
So
find
I
an
got an
example.
example for you, Ben. We're
Yeah.
playing basketball. I can't dribble with my left hand. You say, Steve, go left. That's my job that you told me to do. Is that a good good job for Steve to have?
No, not at all.
Very good. So you're understanding what I'm asking of you. Yes, give people things to do. But as leadership, I want you to concentrate, what does Steve do well? And I'm going to put him in a position to succeed. You see the difference there?
Yeah.
Ultimately, you're right. I want to get them involved, but don't ask people to do stuff that they're not good at. Now you're just setting them up for failure, and ultimately you're setting the team up for failure. So I'll take that. Katie, what you got?
Well, I believe that we should motivate our teammates by knowing their interests and making them work in the way that they are comfortable. Like, yeah.
I'll take that. Adrian, what you got?
Yeah, I think really involving them in the process. Like what you said with you want to be filling them with confidence that they're doing a good job and that what they're doing is making an impact, and if you have somebody who works in finance and maybe they're not speaking up as much and you ask them a question and you say something like, I know numbers are your thing. What do you think about, this balance sheet? That really feels
I think
that really fills people with confidence and they're more likely to speak up.
Adrian, I love that answer. I really love that answer. That's what you got.
So first of all, I think I would talk to them and kind of understand why they lack motivation. And then I would ask them a question. I would say, how do you want to achieve your goal if you do not motivate yourself and if you don't take part in what other team members are doing? And I think that they would answer me just the way I imagined, and they would kind of have more motivation. And also, like, just by talking it out, and they might open up to me, I can give some advices, and everything will set in place.
I'll take that. I really like what you and Adrian just said. I want to communicate with that person, ask questions. Now I'm getting to learn their person. Now I know their triggers. I know what motivates them through conversation. I like that. Brian, you have the last word on motivation.
Something I'd say was probably to like recognize and appreciate the people that are like that like are actively engaged, and like with like recognizing and appreciating them, it'll like foster like a positive environment so people want to engage more and like be part of the team.
I'll take the positive environment, Brian. That's nice. Nice. As opposed to calling someone out, trying to embarrass them. Let's take the positive note and just try to uplift everybody. I like that a lot. Sweet, sweet. Oh, emotional intelligence. What is it to you? What does it mean to you? We talked about this a little yesterday. One hand, somebody tell me what emotional intelligence is to do. One hand. Anybody. Somebody. Go. Now, so talk to me. What is emotional intelligence to you?
It's being able to identify your emotions and also other people's emotions.
I'll take that. So self-awareness, motivation, empathy. I can't see the other one on the other side. I'm quick to listen. I'm slow to speak. This is what I really want you to think about when I talk about emotional intelligence. I want you to listen for understanding. Most of us, we listen to try to give an answer. That's not why you're here. I want you to listen because I'm trying to understand Adrian and where he's coming from, as opposed to then once I understand Adrian and I got a full understanding of where he's coming from, then I get to articulate my understanding of that. Now I want to be understood. Everybody understand that? But so many times we sit in the seat of the listener, and I'm just trying to hurry up and finish, Adrian, so I can tell you what I think. And I never understood what Adrian's point of view was. All right. I want you to really sit in the seat of listening, that active listening, that empathetic listening, because I want to understand what that teammate is feeling, what that other person is feeling, and then I try to be understood. Adrian, shoot, what you got?
Oh, I just had a question for you of how you would like connect that to decisiveness. Like, do you think you can both be slow to speak, quick to listen, and also be decisive?
I think it's two different things here. So if I have to make a decision, here's what I want you to do. Point, aim, shoot, right? With all the facts that I've told you about yesterday, I gather those facts. Now I'm in a position of leadership and I need to make a decision. Decisiveness, point, aim, shoot. Now, don't get so intrigued with the facts that you become paralyzed by the data. Hey, this is what I see. I've communicated with my team. Now it's up to me, point, aim, shoot, and let's let it go where it needs to go. Here, I'm asking you to be understanding your teammates in order to make that decisive decision that you need to make. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm going to involve everybody on the team. A, B, C. All right, what do you guys think? I heard from A. I really heard from A. B, I really heard from B. C. Now I put all that together. Now I want to be decisive in my decision making. I think with what I've gathered, we need to go to the right. Adrian, that makes sense?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so this is what I'm talking about. So yesterday I gave you a quick snippet of what a good teammate looks like. I want somebody to tell me in their own words, and we have time. I think I have about 20 minutes left. What does a good teammate look like, sound like, taste like, feel like, smell like to you? I'm a sensing person, so that's why I use all my senses. I saw Duncan, I saw Ben. Go.
A good teammate to me is someone that listens to my ideas, and maybe if they don't agree, maybe they push back, but in a nice way. They try to be friendly, try to understand where I'm coming from. Maybe try to help me if they see I'm like overwhelmed doing too much work.
I'll take that. A good teammate listens. Ben, what do you got?
Yeah, so like someone who's positive and someone who motivates me.
Someone who motivates and positive. Okay. Anybody else? Kate, what you got?
So as we said, like good teammate for me looks like the person who's nice to me, who makes me feel like we're on the same page, who understands what is our goal and keep up with me, who can motivate me. And also good teammate is the person who knows our plan and knows its place, like its job, and doing it good and on time.
I'll take that. I'll take that. I really like the fact that they know the mission and they know how we need to get there. I'll take the good teammate. Russia, talk to me.
I think a good teammate is someone who's like dedicated to the team and takes like time out to go above and beyond.
Okay, I'll take that. Good. Anybody else? I'm moving. We've talked about this for 2 days now. And I want to take it in another direction. I've heard just be nice as a teammate. You don't have to agree with me, but just be nice. And sometimes we get sometimes people who are nice get taken advantage of. So I want you to be careful. So I want you to give me this example, the following example. You have a teammate that you disagree with the course of action. How do you communicate that disagreement? How do you tell somebody, hey, I like you, but I disagree with you, and I don't think that's in the best interest of the team. How do you do that? I see Katie, Saba, then Dara.
So you just listen to them. You tell them why you think that you disagree with them, or why you think that this is not gonna work with your plan, and you just discuss and communicate about this.
Have you ever met anybody that's married to being right?
Yeah.
Okay, pause the tape. I just want you to hold that thought right there. Saba, what do you have? Communication.
I think it should be based on facts because the decision you make should be based also on the facts, and everything is not logical. So if you don't agree with anyone, you should look in yourself first. Why I don't agree with them, and then you have to communicate with them, and it should be like person to person, face to face communication, or alone. I think with not a full team, and then you should find a problem and you should agree with something, but it should be fact.
Copy. Daria, talk to me.
It's like, as for me, communication is the imparting of information. So, first of all, I have to explain my point of view. So, after I have to hear the point of view of my opponent, and we have to discuss about it.
I'll take that. I want to. All right. So remember what I just said in the last slide, but I want you to be open to the listening piece for understanding, and then I want to clearly articulate my point of view, and then we can decide where the disconnect is. Make sense?
Yeah.
Nuts. Talk to me.
So I think that we should realize that we're a team and we're working for one goal. So there is no need for disagreement to turn into something more serious. So I think that after, sharing our points of views and telling each other and talking to each other, we can settle our differences and realize what's better and who is right in the situation and what's right for the plan and for the goal.
So I want you to keep in mind with the same thing I told Katie. Sometimes you encounter Steve's, and Steve is married to being right. My ego and my pride is attached to being right. Now that's a different conversation because Steve is maniacal. He's crazy. All right. So remember, sometimes you encounter these people. Now the conversation needs that communication needs to change, and we'll talk about it if I have time. Kyle, you got the last word. Whoever you're throwing your hand up to, tell them to hold on.
Yeah, I'm telling him, hold on. Yeah, I think going back to the example that you gave, I think the difference is like with communication, if you have a disagreement, how do you communicate through it? You need to find what the root of like the disagreement is. You need to find that, and then what Saba said, then you take the facts, and that can essentially prove who is on the right side, who's wrong. And then if you have someone who's, kind of egregious or egotistical, and they're too kind of stuck up and they don't accept that they're wrong, you just got to show them that the facts speak for themselves. The main thing here is how to communicate through it. You got to find the root of the problem.
I like the root of the problem, and you always got to keep the main thing the main thing. Nasa said, hey, make sure we got the goal in mind, the mission. What that is, that's the main thing. So keep it there when we're having these communications. Miriam, I'm going to see your hand, but I got to move, okay? I'll get you next time. Apologies. I told Kahia the last word. All right, my bad. All right, so here's the communication. I want open, honest, transparent communication. Can anybody kind of tell Steve what Steve means when he says open, honest, transparent communication? Anybody? What is open communication? What does that mean to you? One hand, Adrian, shoot. One hand, open.
Well, I think it's as like being on the receiving end of that, it's knowing that what like the person has no ulterior motives when they're speaking to you, that what they're telling you is the truth in the context of the greater goal that you're working towards.
All right, honest. And he kind of tied that. So I'll take the open and honest. Somebody tell me what transparent communication is. Put your hand down, Adrian. Somebody tell me what transparent communication is. What is transparent? You got to know what transparent means before you can throw in the communication there. Anybody? Rasha, talk to me. What is transparent?
I think it's being clear in your point. Just like be concise and make sure to get your point across.
So I want, as leadership folk on this call, I want all of you to be open, honest, and transparent with your communication style. I'm open. We can talk about anything. I'm going to give you my perspective of what the truth looks like. And I don't hold all the facts that I have that gets me to that point here for you to see. There's no secrets here. There's no under the table conversations. You have a responsibility and an obligation to put all your issues on the table because I don't like cooler talk. I don't like when I get off this call today, Adrian and Nussa get in the corner and talk about Steve. I didn't really like his shirt today. His glasses had a glare on. Like, no, let's talk about this up front on the table because now you have a right and I have a right to discuss the issues and we keep the main thing the main thing. Everyone has a right to make sense of things. I don't want you talking behind people back. Just make the assumption everything you say about Steve can hear it. Now, what are you going to say in front of Steve's face? That's open, honest, transparent communication. No secrets here. Now, I'm not asking you to give away the treasures of the company. That's not what I'm asking you to do. However, if we're discussing what direction we need to go, everybody needs to bring something to the table so everybody has a way of communicating what direction we need to go. Am I making sense? Big one here. Conflict resolution. Here's the question before you put your hands up. Listen to me. Is conflict good or bad? It's a trick question, so don't be careful. Conflict, good or bad? I want to see hands up. This is a big one to me. I might spend the next 9 minutes here. I only have 9 minutes. Danny, I might need 5 extra minutes. So push lunch back. Conflict, good or bad? So that's the question. Second part of that is, what does conflict look like? And why is it important? 3 questions under one umbrella. Conflict, is it good or bad? Yes or no? What is it? And how do we deal with it? All right, I saw your hand up first. Shoot. Conflict,
I
good or bad?
think that there is no correct answer to it, but for my opinion, conflict is good because it shows that there is a disagreement in team, and it should be fixed as soon as possible before it goes up to like teams spreading up. So conflict is good, but it should be the problem should be spotted on swiftly.
Okay, George, good or bad?
I think it's good sometimes because you can see other opinions, and with constructive criticism, you can understand how other people think about this.
Nuts, good or bad?
I think that conflict is necessary because
Explain. Oh, peel the layers back. Explain that.
yeah, I think it's necessary because what's the point of having a company where everybody has the same opinion and same ideas? You know, conflict comes from different points of views, and I think it's crucial for the company.
Oh, I'm throwing you candy. Make sure you catch that. It might be 2 in there. Catch that. Daria, talk to me. Good or bad?
I think it's good because we are learning to explain our point of view, and we learn to like to listen another points of view and discuss about it.
I'll take that. Adrian, good or bad?
Yeah, I agree with what Nata said, where I think that conflict is necessary because it proves that people are thinking differently. People are coming up with new ideas, like the person that said, oh, electricity, like, when electricity was first like being conceptualized, people thought that it was crazy, like that, oh, what, like stuff that already exists floating in the air and like we can use it to power stuff. Like people didn't think that that was real or that was a good idea. And this person went against the flow, the current to say, no, I think this is a good idea. And now electricity is vital, to everything we do.
Nice articulation, Adrian. Nini, talk to me.
I think conflict is really good if it doesn't contain bullying.
Say that again, Nini. I heard you, but I didn't hear you, and I want to make sure I understand. Say it again.
I think the conflict is really good if it doesn't contain bullying.
I'll take that. All right, I'll take that. Now to talk to me. Good or bad?
Conflict is really necessary and also good because if there is no like conflict in group, and then and if everyone has like same opinion, I don't think that the idea will be like best and everything. And the conflict is good as long as it's like culture, as long as it's not like bullying and you know.
I'll take that. Kai, talk to me. Good or bad?
I'm thinking it's good, and I agree with Nutsa for saying it's necessary. I would go that far. But I think it's interesting that it can spur new ideas and originality. So I think it's definitely a good thing for companies instead of always having this one system. If someone kind of conflicts that and then goes against it, it can spur a new idea or a new concept that can really improve the functionality of the company.
I like the articulation of that. Katie, you got the last word. Conflict, good or bad?
So I think that we all agree that conflict is necessary and good for the team, but I believe that conflict is good until this is not personal. Conflict should be only about the theme, only about our goal and plan. And I believe that like on the screen we see 2 words, conflict resolution. And if the conflict is, we also have to find the solution. Until we got this solution, conflict is good for us.
Oh, I take that. So I know I'm running up against the clock, but I need to ask this question because it's just that important. How do you think we should resolve conflict? Because the theme on the screen is conflict resolution. How do we resolve conflict? And I know it's just someone's gonna say, let's just talk our way through it. I need to have a deeper dive than that. How do we resolve conflict? Anybody got an idea? What is the best conflict resolution? Katie, talk to me.
So we talked about our ego, and sometimes it is hard for us to say that, oh, someone's idea is better, someone is thinking better than me, so we should lower our ego and understand each other and say that yes, someone's idea is better. So yeah.
Okay, Adrian, talk to me.
Yeah, I think it's kind of.
Yes.
I think it's kind of like where neither party feels like.
Adrian, hold on. Alex, mute yourself, please. Alex, mute yourself. No problem. Mute yourself. Go ahead, Adrian.
Yeah, I think it's where I think a good way to solve conflict is where neither party feels like they're getting what they want, meaning down the middle.
Pause. Can you flip that to the positivity? I'm getting some of the things I want. Steve is getting some of the things he wants. So now we got a win-win instead of a lose-lose.
Well, that's what I meant, but just like from a different perspective. Yeah. But
good.
Where both parties feel like things are mostly level and equal, even if you might be talking about an employee, like a subordinate and their boss.
I'll take that. Good. Daria, talk to me.
So as for me, first of all, you have to show the empathy to another person. As for me, it is very important. And the best solution is when you show that I have my point of view, but I can understand that you have your point of view, and we will search one compromise.
Nice.
That will be in the middle of our point of views. It will be the best one.
Good. Yes, talk to me. Yasvi, talk to me. Company D. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I also agree with them. Like overall, you need to make sure you see their side and your own side, and then try to figure it out. But also, I think it's really important just to first of all acknowledge what the conflict is and find the core idea and the core cause of it before finding the solution is really important, because I feel like a lot of times when you're in a conflict, some other things that are maybe not part of the situation or not part of the root cause might come in. So just kind of getting down to the main idea and then trying to fix that conflict first is really important.
Nice. Kyle, you got the last word? Danny, I need 5 extra minutes, Danny. So don't I can't see you, but just shake your head, Steve. You got 5 minutes. Thank you, ma'am.
Got it.
I'm actually gonna disagree with Adrian real quick. I don't think it's always possible to make a compromise on both sides. You do acknowledge both sides and you figure out the root problem, you acknowledge both sides of the argument, but I don't think it's always possible to have an equal compromise. I think sometimes
Time out. Pause the tape. If you say let's go left, I say let's go right, you are absolutely right. There can only be one way. But most times I want you to try to find a win-win solution, because let's say we go with your idea and you leave Steve out to dry. How do you think Steve is going to feel?
Fuck. Not good.
Exactly. So as a team member, I want all of us to experience the win. Now, you're absolutely right. There are times, Steve, we can only go left or right. There is no going down the middle of the road because there's no middle. All right. So you're on the right track. But I want you to die trying to find a win-win solution in your conflict resolution, because that's going to make me feel, that's going to make other team members feel better than just you getting your way. Make sense? Now continue.
Yeah, that was really just my point. Just like I don't think you can always find that equal compromise, but you should try your hardest to.
Check. Very good. I want you to be assertive and open-minded at the same time. I believe this, but I'm also open-minded enough to listen to what Kai has to say as well. That's good leadership. All right. So I'm standing firm in what I believe, but I'm also mature enough to be open-minded and listen to other people. All right. So optimum problem resolution, what is true? Do we have all the information, balance, maturity, open-mindedness, synergy? Team is greater than the sum of its parts. Different skills are required for us to be excellent. All right. Make sure we value the differences. Make sure we value the differences. All right. Compatibility. Earlier, someone said, hey, do I have to like you to be a good team member? Alex, make sure you keep yourself on mute, man. You're interrupting my flow here. All right. I have an answer for this, and I'm running up against the time, so I only have 4 minutes. So I can't ask everybody. If I revisit it tomorrow, maybe. All right. I want you to think about, do I really have to like Kai to be a good team member on this team? Now, here's my answer to the question. I don't have to, but it sure does make the job a lot better if I like the people that I'm working with. Make sense? I don't have to like Nutsa, but if I like Nutsa, man, I'm gonna run through a wall for her. You know what I mean? So it makes a difference. So keep that in mind. It's not a must, but it sure is nice when I have people on my team that I really like. All right? Because of building blocks, compatibility, we all share the same taste and style and not afraid to challenge each other. I think that is super duper important. All right. Your business case, 2 more slides. All right. Creates clarity. It creates trust, knowledge sharing, again, the open and honest transparency. I think that's a big deal for us. And then finally, specialization delegation. Everybody has a unique skill set, right? Kai is good at X, Steve is good at Y, Dara is good at Z. So we all need each other to be good. Results. Make sure we know what, clear line of sight, what's the mission. Accountability. We hold each other accountable for what we signed up to do. And then finally, meaningful work, meaningful relationships. It makes this thing so much more fun. All right. Danny, thank you for giving me some extra time. I have one more request before we go today, guys. All right, we have a homework assignment. It's 52 people on the call today. 5 of them are probably professors, so 47 people on the call today. You have to come up with one question that you want to ask me about my journey, anything, and I'll answer it tomorrow after we finish leadership. Everybody has a chance to go. All right, one question. All right. Thank you today. Today was amazing. Just like yesterday, we put a foundation on yesterday. We build upon that foundation today. And tomorrow we'll finish with my passion is leadership. I can't wait to see you guys again tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you, Danny, for giving me an extra few minutes. Love you guys and see you soon. Okay. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
All
you.
right.